Here we are.
Talk about this candy.
I think we should chew. I will give people misophonia if we chew into
It's kind of funny. Oh, then we can do like a candy chat preview. No, you don't want to
Becky,
tell people
what
about
is
your
this?
candy company?
You don't want people, you don't want to promote your candy company?
Well, I don't really have stock in the company.
Okay.
It's one of those.
How did you find
money to
influence?
lose money? It's an influence episode.
Okay. Here we are, and welcome to an influenced episode of the Friday Night Movie Podcast. We're going to get back to talking about things we like, things we're eating, things we're watching. We're not going to name the networks that they're on, so good luck Googling them. That's our compromise that we've made. So we've just made this terribly inconvenient for people. But we want to kick off with the fact that Becky, if you hear chewing in the background, if your misophonia is kicking in, it's because...
Misophonia.
Miso-
Not the dessert.
It's not
Becky
Canadian.
100% made up this word. It's not Canadian.
Maybe I'll tell it to one of your kids and give them another phobia.
Yeah, every time
Phobia.
Becky always tells my kids about phobias, and then they
phobia.
tell me they have them. Mm-hmm. I have a kid who has trichophobia now. I got
We
a
have
kid
another kid who hasn't slept in like 8 years because of me. I told her about jet lag.
Yeah.
No, we have to come back
Never
to this
bounced
candy,
back.
though.
Okay, so
what is happening?
So Becky,
These are like professional candy.
yeah,
My mouth is stuck together, and it's so sour.
So sour. You can't like stop
I can't-
smiling in the
so
new
Becky-
Candy has candy. Like, it's so thick. Like someone really
Professional
artisanal candy.
professional. So Becky, tell us about this candy, and,
Okay.
and by the way, it's an opportunity to give love to
Leah.
and Jocelyn over at Candy Cat Chicago. Go check out
I
Candy
should
Cat Chicago.
go on that show to
You
talk
should go on that
about
show to
my
talk-
specialty candy shop. So I don't have a sweet tooth, except I love candy. I really love candy.
Define candy, because for me that could mean a chocolate bar.
I'm not into chocolate bars. I like sweet, gummy, chewy things, but everything you buy, truthfully, the stuff you buy at the grocery store or the gas station, it's just like not delicious is the best way to describe it.
It does taste a little bit thin. Since you introduced me to what you're about to talk about,
Like, you didn't
I went and had
notice it.
Swedish fish at a movie theater, and I needed to eat the whole bag just to get a hit of the quality
and
that
there's like a weird greasiness to them. Anyway,
Sweaty.
Yeah, sweatiness to them, and there's like lacking in flavor. The texture isn't quite right, but you don't notice it because it's the candy you grew up on. And then let me introduce you to this company called Soccerbit that imports all of its candy.
Wait, say it again.
I'm calling it Soccerbit.
Is it Soccerbit? Every time I read the mail, I get so excited when the mail comes. I thought it was called Sprocket.
Oh, maybe.
What is it?
No, I think it's called Soccerbit.
So it's not a giant dildo. That was sent to you. Please see 2 weeks ago's episode.
We mentioned it last
I'm
week
afraid
when the
to
one
get
that
every
Becky and I
package that
did.
arrives.
How long can we go with not mentioning it? Is really the question.
I mean, every time I...
No, it's Soccerbit.
Soccerbit. So
Okay.
Soccerbit, they have a couple shops in the States. I think there's one in New York, one in LA, and I specialty order my candy. I've been doing this for a couple years now, and they import their candy, I believe, mostly or entirely from Europe. Now they have
Europe
all...
does
But hold on a
candy.
second. I've had some European candy is good, and some European candy feels like an EU parliamentary meeting.
Yeah,
They don't feel.
No. Agreed. Now
quite
they have
good,
quite an array of stuff on their website. I clearly don't order everything because I think a lot of their candy is like European homework candy. You know, like all the weird. Like they have a whole section of just black licorices.
Oh, Allie would love that.
Allie would love that.
I've gotten her a mix.
If she
like a
listened to this
mix from them.
podcast, she would know.
She would know.
Never know.
Now she'll never know.
She does not listen to the show.
But you
So-
did listen to the dildo episode.
It's the best episode
So
of the year.
I specialty order my candy from this place, and it's the type of thing you think I'm a little bit bananas, I'm a little bit wacky. Who would spend so much money shipping themselves candy when you just go to the store to get the same thing?
Well,
Supposedly?
this is, I think,
Nope,
an
it's not the
important
same.
point. I think
Becky's-
this is an important point. I'm
Becky
just
proved the point.
I'm gonna give people more detail. You are not ordering fancy artisanal candy that you can't find anywhere. What you're doing is finding the candy that you love.
Yeah.
Swedish fish, the cherries, the typical
the
candy,
cola bottles.
the cola bottles, and getting that gourmet.
Yeah,
like the
getting the
highest
best
quality
version of it.
version.
The best
And it
version of the typical
really
things that you
is-
love.
It's Becky has got the part that I like. Becky ordered for me once are the soda bottles that are the that are the consistency of Swedish fish. They sort of have that hard chew, that thicker chew.
I didn't know you liked the orange ones. I'm so sad I
The
didn't
orange
get them.
cream ones. I just ate a bunch of Swedish fish, and then there's like a Coca-Cola
Oh,
flavored
that Cola
one.
one is wild.
Oh my goodness,
good.
so
like the Coca-Cola
so good.
one?
But I have to
never
say,
liked those.
these are so gourmet that whatever the version is so delicious and flavorful. You don't need to eat as much. Like you don't have to eat a whole bag.
Yeah, I just had 4 pieces of candy, and I think I'm good for like a year.
Well,
I go to the dentist
when
now.
Becky got me a potpourri of them,
Right.
and in there were some sour ones, and
These guys are not messing around.
Do you know?
I had like a barely sour one, and my lips are keep smacking together.
But it's good for doing. It's good for your voice acting skills. And so, podcasting. So, remember, this will be a good one because it's a movie Lily loves. Remember in Dumb and Dumber, I think it's Dumb and Dumber, where the cop drinks the pee bottle and he goes. My face was stuck doing that for 10 minutes after eating one of those. So I can't eat the sour ones. They're too much for me.
There's too sour
or something. Yeah,
They're too
and
sour. Like a sour
well, no,
Patch
if you're
Kid?
no,
Is
but
that
if
like a sour
but if you're a
Patch?
sour patch person,
They're
like
very
this is like the
intense for
highest
you?
quality.
well, my favorite are the sours. I would eat them till my tongue is raw. But the problem is that my delicate stomach really does not allow me to have more than like one sour candy.
I ate one. 3 of my molars degraded right in that moment. It's just all they're just fleshy
Tell you, there's
stubs now.
professional sourness to these candies.
I highly recommend peruse. Order yourself a couple sampler boxes. This is truly
I
an
love
influence
that.
because I'm pretty sure I found out about them through like an Instagram ad.
Interesting.
I was like, I like candy.
And Beck, what have you been watching?
Okay, I have been watching stuff. So one is a show that I love. Season 2 came out. We can sort of talk about it, but not too much because Lily hasn't seen season 2 of Heartstopper
No, but you
yet.
can also give me credit.
I just wanted,
And let's give credit to Amanda.
Yeah,
Amanda.
Lily-
I haven't seen the show at all.
Lily's
She
the one that
recommended
showed
it.
to me. It is such a sweet high school show. Just about it's all this group of friends and each of them dealing with their gender identity or sexual orientation, but it's not just solely about that. It's like, it's about all the other stuff that goes on for them in high school, but they themselves and their relationship with their friends are actually quite, functional, which I feel like you don't often see. In
Like
high
Sex
school
Education,
shows.
which is an excellent show. Like everything is dysfunctional all
like,
the time.
They actually have really functional relationships with their friends.
So that's not where the conflict
No,
in
it's
the
not
story
the
is.
conflict. And then it's just the reality of being a teenager.
It's a very well done show.
It's a lot. And
there's a lot of
season
heart.
2 was
Who
so
are actors?
good.
You want to let's give some love to the
British.
actors.
Well, Olivia
know.
Colman's in it.
Yeah.
She plays the
Oh.
mom.
She plays
of
the
one
mom.
of
she's
kids.
I've been seeing memes of Olivia Colman being a mom.
And you're just sort of like, how did they get
I don't know
Olivia
how they
Colman?
got her. Maybe
You know
she
how they
just
got
loved
her?
it.
Because the script is so amazing, and I have to imagine she read it, and she's like, this is wonderful. I want to be in this. So, and I don't know the names of any of the young British actors that are in it, but they're delightful.
Just kidding. It's not anywhere. But
that's
go look for it.
It's a big
say
buy for me. It's a big buy for me. I do really highly recommend it. And Lily does get an I Told You show.
And I'll pass that along to
And I don't
Amanda,
think I
who
would have watched it.
recommended it.
Now, more importantly, though, this is something we need to discuss.
Okay.
I know we don't have like a specific theme.
I feel
today,
like you're helping
in the air-
no big corporation by talking about this thing you're about to
Okay,
talk.
you know that era-
Nobody wins.
we need to discuss the era of sequels where the sequel is in no way connected to the original.
It could have just been a new movie.
No. But
Save for
but-
like one character or one
Right, it's just a
thread.
brand. They're
Like, it's
just
a
using the brand.
So, for example, Miri and my daughter and I watched Honey, I Shrunk the Kids the other day.
Classic.
That's one of my
And I
favorite
tell you,
movies.
we are sitting on the floor of my room watching it, cackling. We're having the best time.
Practical
Movie,
effects.
It holds up.
It's so
today.
good, and it's
fantastic.
not like racist or homophobic
No,
or anything.
no,
right?
it's just-
It's terrifying. Though.
terrifying.
That ant gets murdered.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
let my 3-year-old watch it. So I
Okay,
was like,
but I'm saying it holds up
My
in terms
kids
of like.
Holds up in
My kids were very traumatized.
And like
when the ant
Miri
died.
wanted
love
me
that
to
movie.
know, she's like, Mom, don't worry. If a little kid gets shrunk, pollen can't go up their nose. They won't be allergic. Do you remember the scene? Because like
Yeah, Nikki can't.
and the pollen, he's like, I'm not allergic. So okay, wonderful.
So good safety
Then I
lessons.
went about and I did something. She watches the sequel, which I think is Honey, I Blew Up
Baby,
the Kid.
honey, I blew up the kid. And it's with a giant baby.
So I didn't actually
one's
watch that one with her, so I don't know how all that connects to the first.
But
No, it's
lot
just
of the
the younger kid, the nerdy kid from the first one. The story mostly revolves around him.
Okay,
and there's like
but it's the same actor.
and it's an extra baby.
Oh,
There's
right,
like an
okay.
extra
They have a
baby.
new baby.
They have a
Okay.
new baby, and then the baby gets enlarged and goes crazy, like crushing the city.
Maybe that's the connection.
It's
'Cause
terrible.
now I'm in the third one, and now I come back for the third one, and he has an entirely new family, including a wife that hates him. And you're like,
What?
what
They
is going
switched
on?
out all the actors,
But they're
or he got divorced.
What's the last one called?
Nikki and the sister
Honey, We Shrunk Ourselves?
are not
Again?
They're not in the
There's
movie.
no Honey, I Shrunk the Kids again. Am I making that up?
No, they shrink themselves.
Oh, they
Rick
definitely
Moranis and his new
replaced his
And his new
wife.
wife. And then he has like now
Wait,
a
is he
best friend.
divorced or is
I
it
don't know.
a different actor?
It is somehow he still has the exact same attic.
Okay,
But
so
nothing else is the
he got to
same.
keep the house in
The house is completely different. The family is the two older siblings don't exist in this universe. In this,
They don't like make a
Shrunken
reference to
universe.
like so Nikki can't come home from
I
college.
don't-
No,
recall
there's another
hearing
kid,
that.
Adam Zielinski. Adam must be the baby.
but he's like 12 in this. So have 12 years gone by? It's such a
It
massive.
was this movie came out in 1997. Honey, We Shrunk Ourselves.
I don't
the other-
know. And the
oh, okay.
entire
Is
plot
Rick Moranis still in this
The wife?
franchise at this point?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
amazed.
he
I
is,
thought
he is.
I assumed this one he wasn't in, and it was just like
He
the family
still
across
gets
the
it.
road.
So now instead of being a bumbling sweet scientist who his wife gets frustrated with but finds endearing, he's now an incredibly successful like CEO of his invention company, and she hates him. Like she despises him and is just like trying to get away from him.
He got too big
And
for his.
no, but he's still lovely and bumbling.
Oh.
He's the same character.
Oh,
and then
he's just rich now.
Yeah,
and she hates him.
And she hates him.
So he's
and
the same
plot-
lovable guy, but rich.
Yes, and the plot
That's a plot
is
hole.
that he shrinks himself, her, and their friends, or possibly his brother. Because
No, it seems like there's 12 people in this movie with the last name Zielinski, and one of them is Mitch Zielinski, so that is the name of the brother who's played by a different actor.
What do you mean, Mitch Zielinski? It's Nikki.
No. Adam must be the baby, right?
Oh.
But there is someone named Jake Richardson plays someone named Mitch Zielinski.
So it's his brother. It's Rick Moranis' brother.
No. Yeah, so now all of a sudden he has a brother, the uncle, and the kids. Anyways, the whole point. This is still
Zielinski.
presumably
Oh,
this
that
is still
first movie's
presumably a movie
perfect.
for kids, but not really, because the plot seems to be 4 adults that shrink each other, that hate each other, that are now shrunken.
Saying it's no
and have
Jumanji
to-
sequel,
and have to deal with
which
which is
their.
amazing.
Which at my house we talk about the Jumanji sequel a lot.
No, I'm saying then I guess like the journey. I didn't finish watching it, but I'm assuming the arc is
Shocking.
that through this adventure they repair their crumbling marriage. I'm just guessing that's what the arc is. And I'm
So
like,
it's
who
therapy.
is this for?
So
Who's the audience?
what
Who's
is
the audience, and how does it connect?
But Lily, I think the most important thing about this film,
Who's in
the
it?
most important about this film, is that Jenny Zielinski, who I'm assuming is Jenny, isn't that the name of the girl
Daughter?
next door that Mitch falls in love with?
No, Zielinski
No,
is
you're
Rick
convicted-
No, I'm
Moranis'
talking about the
family.
kids. No, but now they're old and married, maybe.
But why would he? But why would
Oh,
Mitch take Jenny's name?
No, no,
Fine.
no. Oh, you're right. Yeah, it does make sense. All right, I'm just mixing things up. That's a good point. Mitch.
Who's Mitch?
Oh no, you're right.
She's writing fan fiction.
You're
I
right.
sure-
None of this makes sense. Isn't Mitch the name of the kid though?
No, I think
I
that's
think so.
no.
No, Russ.
Russ
God
and
damn
Russ and who's
Big
the other
Russ.
one?
I don't know.
Big Russ and Little
But I-
Russ and Ron.
But then who's
And
Russ
Ron is
Ron?
Russ and Ron.
Okay,
Ronald, Russell.
so I guess Mitch Zielinski and Jenny Zielinski are. I feel like
I love you 1,000 times.
I feel like we're at the heart of where this podcast started, which is
Just
us
giggles.
mixing up names. Okay, so
Ron and Russell are the neighbors.
Yeah,
I don't
you're
remember their last name.
it was just
Sorry,
Honey,
I'm
sure.
imagining having our friend Aaron on and just doing a game of
yeah,
mixing up names.
Of Guess Who.
Okay, so Lily, Jenny Zielinski, whoever I guess these are the children of the
No,
brother.
I think that's the aunt. The
No,
the
these are-
it couldn't be.
yeah,
This
that are
person
written
was
into it.
this person was like one of the cousins,
They're written into it.
played by. See if you remember who we're talking about here, Allison Mack.
Oh.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What's Allison Mack most famous for? It isn't her acting.
Oh, yeah. We were just talking about Allison Mack.
Yeah. Well,
Are we?
okay.
Yeah, recently.
According to Wikipedia, think about it. She was a very high-level person. She recruited people for something.
Oh, she's in
She's from Nexium.
She's from Nexium.
She's Nexium, so she was in this movie.
Right. Wild. Yeah, she was an actress.
I don't know. This is just very much to me. It's like one of those sequels where it's like they just had somebody. Right. I mean, you're not even sure. It's so loosely connected. Clearly, no one saw the first two movies or the first.
It's obviously, yeah.
I mean, maybe it's to keep the IP or if
But you know
it's
what I'm talking about?
direct-to-video.
Those sequels that have like one.
Oh yeah.
tiny thread.
Well, I was really pleased to see the other day. I was in a Walmart and I found that there is actually. So years ago, I bought the Tremors box set. You know the movie Tremors.
Yeah,
I do.
Kevin Bacon.
Kevin Bacon's in the original. I don't think he's in any of the other ones. Although they were going to make a Tremors TV show at one point. Anyways, with him.
Well, how and why you track that stuff?
What what corner of your brain?
What corner of Entertainment
filed that
Weekly
information away?
Hold on a second. So what did I find out the other day though? I found out when I was in the Walmart that there is a new 7-disc box set. So I thought there was only 4.
So since you bought the box set, 3 more Tremors movies came out?
Yeah, in the last 20 years. So I'm just going to read them. There's Tremors 2 Aftershocks, which actually scared me. Tremors 3 Back to Perfection.
Back to Worms.
Okay. Then Tremors 4 The Legend Begins. That's one where they go back in time and Michael Gross, the dad from Family Ties, plays his ancestor. Then there's
You're telling me
Tremors 5 Bloodline.
They're capable of time travel, yet still have to manage.
No, not time
Earthworms.
travel. He plays his ancestor. It's like in
it's
Back to
just
the Future.
It's just they go back.
It's like
Okay.
it's
Tremors,
a prequel.
Tremors, A Cold Day in Hell, and then Tremors, Shrieker Island. So if anyone's looking for a Hanukkah present for me, the 7-disc box set, I'm going to need an update to my 4-disc box set.
I mean,
Kevin Bacon's only in the first one, right?
Yes, I don't think I don't know. I'll check with.
Couldn't bring him. So what you're saying is Tremors is the Fast and the Furious of the 80s.
The last one though has Michael Gross of Family Ties because he's in the first one too, and then he takes over the franchise as the kind of main guy.
Is that like the?
Oh my god! If I was
like the Rock
listening, if I'm an audience member listening to our podcast last night,
Wait.
I am like,
But it's him and John Heater. Napoleon Dynamite is in this movie.
What year did the last one come out? I guess he's like
2020.
What's his agent up to? I feel like.
No, he doesn't. He's very selective. He doesn't do a lot of stuff anymore. He's very,
That's why I'm
I'm curious to see it. It must be very good.
And there you go. All right, so that's my update from the
bowels of Walmart.
From the bowels of Walmart. Lily, what about you?
I got nothing.
Nothing.
Literally,
Nothing? You've been listening to podcasts?
I have been listening to some interviews, and some like film type nerdy academic podcasts. And
You said my thing was boring. Mine at least had John Heater in it.
I never got a chance. We never got a chance to talk about the bear. So I just want to say, like, I feel like
did talk about
the
that.
bear. I'm just gonna do a quick thing. We don't have to get a whole thing on the bear, but I just feel, and I wonder if other people feel this, that like I in no way have any connection to the restaurant industry, nor have I have any interest in being a chef or running a restaurant. But I find many of the things in that show applicable to everyday life of like work and trying to like, do projects and trying to break out on your own. And I don't know. I felt like it's every once in a while I'm like, oh, I just want to like put it like my hand on my chest to tell you guys sometimes like, I'm sorry. Like they do
Good one.
in the
Good one.
right. There's like a lot of like good, interesting lessons from that show.
I said it last week.
That's what makes it so amazing.
And Howie, by the way, wrote to me to agree that the episode 7 of season 2. Thank you, Howie, for the message. Episode 7 is like perfect.
Forks?
Forks.
And then the final episode, the final shot of the final episode with REM's Strange Currency playing and the sparks flying. Like,
Just
I would love an article, someone to write about just like, or maybe we can do an episode all about best closing scenes of anything. Yeah. And that is one of the best closing scenes I've ever seen of anything.
Also, I don't know how you guys feel about like when the music is so obvious in a show or a movie. It's like almost like watching a Cameron Crowe.
It's like when you hear
and it's so recognizable.
When you hear Sympathy for the Devil at this point,
right?
Or Give Me Shelter, you can't put those in movies anymore.
Right,
the use of REM in that
and Wilco too. I love
so purposeful, right? It's so intentional.
What's fascinating is that it's REM, Wilco, Pearl Jam.
Right.
These are all bands. both bands, Pearl Jam and Wilco, are directly linked and descendants, but also collaborators, and then surpassed in terms of
and there's a
their
Chicago
longevity.
connection too.
Yeah, REM, and so it's pretty amazing.
And
Because Eddie Vedder is a Chicago fan. I'm pretty sure he's a big Bears fan or a
Jeff
Cubs fan.
Tweedy, they're from Chicago, right? Isn't Wilco from Chicago? Am I making that up? No, I'm pretty sure that's true. Might have to Google that.
I'm not fact checking you.
But yeah, what also I love about that show is that I'm not annoyed by the music. It's exciting that, to hear music that I think it's also a very bold choice to say, hey, we're going to go with music from alternative rock bands from the 90s.
You know what, though? That music is so good.
It's so good, and it really speaks to, at least it speaks to us, but I think it also speaks to the
I think it's gotten a little bit forgotten.
It's gotten forgotten, and it also is really great for the kind of raw tension in these scenes.
Well, that was a time where the pop music wasn't pop music with angst, right? It was just like angsty emotional music that happened to get popular, and then it got co-opted and all that stuff. But REM didn't, they always talk about Out of Time as an album. They're like, we made a song with no chorus and mandolin as the main instrument, and it became our biggest hit. So they weren't trying to be famous with Losing My Religion.
And I think there's a really interesting layered connection between the music and the show. I'm sure some university is building a class around that right now for the music that is used in that show, and it's a great way to connect it to the journey and the experience of the characters. Mm-hmm. But yeah, the season, and also I have to just say, I'm so happy that the season 2 was wonderful.
Because season 1 was...
That's a really tough act to follow, a season 1 like that. Yeah. And normally, we know, I hope the show has 5 seasons. I'm going to go with 5. I'll take 5 great seasons of the show. I don't need 10. But we all know that second season...
I would take 3.
I don't know
if I can mentally handle 5
Okay,
seasons.
fine. I'm going to go with 4. I'm going to go with 4.
I can do 5.
Whatever it is, though, all those actors should be getting fucking big royalties, and all the people who work on that.
God, I'm going to say let's say it's 4 seasons. 3 is too short.
The ones that they want.
That shows the reason people would sign up for a streaming service is to see it. That.
Right,
that
exactly.
But normally season 2 is the dud when there's a multi.
I know.
And season 2 brought it, so I'm excited.
I mean, Friday Night Lights being the example.
And Never Have I Ever, and so many shows that are great, but the season.
It's hard to come out. I mean, but with bands too, software albums are really hard. It's hard to recreate the lightning in the bottle.
The lightning in a bottle. Anyway,
not everything's going to be the Godfather.
And they surpassed it.
Yeah, so that's the most recent thing that I've seen. Oh, and Reservation Dogs.
So I have been I almost emotionally, my heart was so full at the end of season 2 of Reservation Dogs, and I actually wasn't aware there was a 3rd season for a while until I saw it on Instagram.
Good.
So I was
came
good,
out,
and so
too.
I'm waiting to absorb it. It's and I know it's the last season. It's I'm gonna have to say goodbye to those guys. That show is a complete masterpiece.
You know what I do? I just never watch the last things of Things We Name.
I know you still haven't finished Parks and Rec.
I never finished Parks and Rec. It hurts my heart.
I've never finished Schitt's Creek. I never finished Schitt's Creek for the same reason. I'm I can't.
I need to know that there's a little bit left. I go back and watch it, chip away at it.
REM.
I'll say this.
Let's bring it back to REM and then we can wrap.
You never listened to their last album?
No, the last album. But then they put out a greatest hits, which had 2 or 3 extra unreleased songs, and I've only heard 1 of the 3 songs because the idea that there's no more REM after that is too much for me to handle because I've collected every B-side, every Christmas single, everything. I have, I think everything that has been released.
But what if one of those 2 songs is your favorite song of all time?
I think I would have heard. All right. People know where they can follow us. It's going to come on after the music. I just want to say, because we're doing this in person, love you guys.
Love you.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Friday Night Movie, the sibling rivalry and pop culture podcast. Join the Friday Night Movie family by following @FriNightMovie on all of the socials and visiting our website, FriNightMovie.com. Our theme song is by What Does It Eat? And make sure to leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. Thanks for listening.